yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
I don't judge, and the old timers didn't either, fighters chronologically as much as I do by the amount of fights they've had and the amount of punches they've taken. I judge them that way.
Because he definitely had the skill of a top five, just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class.
Boxing pundits are beginning to whisper what once seemed unthinkable, that Terence Crawford may have surpassed a prime Floyd Mayweather. His stunning unanimous decision over Canelo Alvarez to become undisputed super middleweight champion wasn't just historic, it was dominant. Crawford controlled the range, switched stances effortlessly, stood his ground under pressure, and blended strategy with ruthless efficiency.
Crawford outboxed Canelo, made Canelo miss, stood right in front of him when he was supposed to, he moved when he was supposed to, made it look easy. He beat Canelo Alvarez better than Floyd Money Mayweather, which makes him better than Floyd Money Mayweather, in my opinion.
Experts like Bob Arum have even argued that Crawford's ambidexterity and complete skill set make him one of the few fighters who could match, or perhaps even surpass, Mayweather at his peak.
Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner.
What fight
Why
would
do you
make
feel
the most?
he wipes the floor with him?
What?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo, Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt Terence.
Do you think the welterweight Boots Ennis would stand a chance against Crawford? Or?
I have no idea, but I know that Boots Ennis is a tremendous fighter and a great talent. Whether he'd stand a chance with Crawford, I don't really know, because at 147, Crawford is, I think, unbeatable.
The debate over who stands taller, Floyd or Terence Crawford, was reignited when Canelo Alvarez, who has faced both men, declared Crawford the superior fighter. His remarks came after Crawford defeated him by unanimous decision in 2025 to claim the undisputed super middleweight crown. Canelo pointed to Crawford's adaptability, his ring intelligence, his effortless switch of stances, and his airtight defense as proof that Crawford outshines Mayweather.
And he said he might be better than Mayweather. I can see it, because Crawford got a little bit of Mayweather in him, but he got the offense going on. It's not like all defense, blocking everything, points, you know. Crawford can actually hurt you. He's actually a fighter. He'll fight you. You know, he'll box you, but he'll fight you too. He ain't no joke.
Mayweather Jr. carved out a legendary career, defined by his flawless 50 record, peerless defensive brilliance, and dominance across multiple weight classes, from super featherweight to light middleweight. He became renowned for his pristine footwork, lightning reflexes, razor-sharp counterpunching, and an uncanny gift for avoiding punishment while controlling every pace. Mayweather captured 15 major world titles across 5 divisions, and in an era when boxing overflowed with competition at each level, he consistently faced fighters who were stars and champions in their own right.
Of all the fights, you've had 50. Who would you say was your toughest opponent?
You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds, but nothing really was tough. I've been in a boxing gym, and guys have given me great sparring and great work. They say ass whooping will humble you. I go home and say, you gotta tighten up, champ.
Yeah.
You gotta get it together, champ. And then sometimes I go home and say, is this for me? I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist. And we all know God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing record.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Terence Crawford carries an undefeated streak with more than 18 major world titles spread across 5 divisions, becoming the first male fighter ever to reign undisputed in 3 different weight classes. A master switch hitter, his power rises with him as he climbs, paired with precision that cuts sharp and a finishing instinct that closes the show. Crawford has delivered commanding performances against elite opponents like Errol Spence Jr. and, most recently, Canelo Alvarez.
You know, he was a little frustrated in there, but that's part of the game.
And last question is, I know Trey, after the fight, have you feel yet the significance of this win and what it means in your legacy and your career?
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know? But for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
Crawford's showdown with Canelo turned into one of boxing's defining nights. He jumped up 2 full weight classes to chase the undisputed super middleweight crown and walked away with a unanimous decision after 12 grueling rounds. The judges read it 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113 in his favor. Crawford's game plan was clear. Use sharp feet, crisp jabs, and timed counters, all while absorbing Canelo's power and pressure without breaking. Even with the cut above his right eye from a clash of heads, he never let control slip. That victory made him the first man in modern boxing to rule undisputed in 3 divisions, pushed his record to 42-0, and sealed his place among the sport's very best.
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know? But for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
In a recent interview, Roy Jones Jr. placed Terence Crawford in a league often reserved for the all-time greats, saying Crawford carries the kind of skill and adaptability usually only see in Hall of Famers. He praised Crawford's seamless stance switching, his timing, his ring IQ, and the balance of offense and defense that makes him stand out. While Jones Jr. admitted Crawford still needed a few marquee fights to seal his legacy, he pointed to the recent displays, especially the way he dominated elite opponents, as proof that Crawford is finally delivering on the brilliance everyone always knew was there.
I'd rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely had the skill of a top 5, just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud, no.
Keith Thurman didn't hold back when praising Crawford's performance, calling it nothing short of a boxing clinic where pure fundamentals, sharp ring generalship, and brilliant tactics told the story. He highlighted how Crawford's jab, movement, clever angles, and mastery of distance stripped away Canelo's usual weapons of pressure and raw power. Though Thurman once worried about Crawford moving up in weight, he admitted that Bud's speed, timing, and composure were the deciding factors. At the same time, he noted Canelo looked slower than expected, unable to adjust or enforce his trademark strength like before. In the end, Thurman conceded that Crawford's triumph was a flawless masterclass, proving that Canelo, still dangerous, had been systematically outboxed.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm going to let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101. Set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks. All right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him. Not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe-to-toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, it was a clinic.
Fernando Vargas admitted he had misjudged the matchup, openly acknowledging that Terence Crawford proved him wrong with a masterful display. He expressed genuine surprise at how Crawford executed his plan, praising the sharp technique, impeccable ring control, and precise punches that defined the fight. Vargas still respected Canelo, noting the Mexican star remains a dangerous and accomplished champion, but stressed that on this night, Crawford was simply the superior fighter. His reaction carried humility for underestimating Crawford and admiration for the skill and dominance that allowed him to claim such a historic victory.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm going to let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101. Set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks, all right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him, not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe-to-toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, it was a clinic.
Fernando Vargas Jr., son of Fernando Vargas, also weighed in on the recent showdown. He noted that Canelo's career has already been incredibly demanding, with roughly 70 professional fights on his record. Such a punishing schedule, he argued, inevitably affects a fighter's body, reflexes, and overall sharpness. While Canelo remains among the sport's elite, Vargas Jr. believes the years of high-profile battles have gradually sapped some of the explosiveness and drive that once propelled him to the top. He pointed out that Canelo's power no longer lands with the same force, and the relentless hunger that defined his rise now appears less pronounced.
The weight was going to be too much. It definitely wasn't. Yeah, it definitely wasn't. I ate my words up, you know what I mean? But... ¿Recuerdas de esto? ¿Cómo es esta foto? Sí. Hace como 2 años. Sí.
Good. I was like, no, I'm not talking right now.
I have a green rope. You want one? I'll give you a coffee. All right, Carlos.
Excuse us.
Yeah. So, what was it?
What do you think happens next for both Canelo and Crawford?
I think that, man.
You got it.
Bud, I always knew that Bud was a great fighter. He worked both guards, orthodox and southpaw. Amazing talent.
Al Bernstein highlights another facet of Crawford's brilliance, his unpredictability. He explains that Crawford doesn't rely on a fixed or predictable approach inside the ring. Instead, he adjusts on the fly, creating constant challenges for opponents who struggle to anticipate his next move, especially against a fighter like Canelo, who thrives on timing and counters. This unpredictability becomes a serious obstacle. Bernstein points out that Crawford's ability to switch seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw stances adds yet another layer of difficulty. This versatility makes it nearly impossible for Canelo to foresee attacks, leaving him exposed to combinations he can't react to in time.
Most fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He's a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer, sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford, but I think the thing about Canelo Alvarez is that he has seen every style that you can see.
Teddy Atlas has repeatedly praised Terence Crawford, highlighting the foundations of his greatness beyond just victories. He's spoken of Crawford's rare mental gifts, his timing, instincts, ability to read opponents, and adapt on the fly. Atlas has suggested that Crawford possesses those X factors not always captured in statistics, like craftiness, ring IQ, and heart. He's also expressed admiration for how Crawford has moved through weight classes, preserved his skills, and embraced major challenges without shrinking from risk. Throughout, Atlas maintains that Crawford is exceptional, a fighter with tools and mentality few possess, deserving to be counted among the very best in the sport.
Passes the eye test. Everyone he's been in there, he's won convincingly. I know with the Matrimore fight, people want him to win big. It was his first time stepping up in weight to 154, and it was a guy with 300 amateur fights, only had 10 pro fights, but he had 300 amateur fights, with the best international fighters in the world. And he had a very deliberate style, a very distinct style, a very awkward style in its own way. So So people don't look at that. They don't look at the things, obviously, that I'm looking at, being a trainer, being in the business of boxing my whole life, 50 years of it.
Jeff Mayweather, uncle of Floyd Mayweather Jr., recently weighed in on Canelo Alvarez's claim that Terence Crawford is superior to Floyd. He suggested that Canelo's praise of Crawford could be strategic, a way to boost the perceived value of his opponent before their fight. Jeff acknowledged that Crawford may be talented, perhaps matching Floyd in intelligence, yet he disputed the notion that Crawford has eclipsed Floyd's defensive brilliance. He also noted that such comparisons often come from fighters trying to frame victories over highly regarded opponents to elevate their own legacy. Jeff showed respect for both men, but made it clear that, in his eyes, Floyd's record still stands in a class of its own.
We got, Crawford. Do you think he stays there at 168? Does he go down to 160 and try to get another weight class? I'll start with him first. What's his next move? He said he doesn't want to rematch with Canelo, but I think that'd be on the table. That's going to be a ton of money, obviously.
I think that the Canelo fight may be so big that it's a fight that he is going to actually probably say yes to.
He has to feel comfortable he can win again. It's not like he got lucky on a one-punch knockout. He won that fight.
Yeah, he won the fight, so I don't see him being. There's no reason for him to be scared.
Right.
And I think that that might be the fight that he'll take out of all the offers that's out there, because now he's at 68. He don't want to go backwards and go down in weight classes and things like that.
Roy Jones Jr. suggested that Terence Crawford might consider retirement following his monumental victory over Canelo Alvarez. Jones Jr. said few fighters could match what Crawford had just accomplished, implying there may be little left to prove. He praised Crawford's performance, especially noting how moving up weight classes, facing an opponent of Canelo's caliber, and claiming an undisputed title in a third division all mark a career peak. While many anticipated Crawford would continue fighting, Roy's comments sparked debate among fans and analysts over whether Bud should step away on top after this landmark moment.
A very smart fight. Took the fight in the middle, let Canelo get off his steam early, came in the later rounds and just outboxed him for a very smart fight. Then stand in the middle for him, made him use the ring like Canelo doesn't like to do. He took the Erislandy blueprint and used it very well.
How surprised were you with Crawford's performance? Was you surprised?
Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. If you look at Erislandy, you notice Bud never turned right-handed the whole fight, because the new Erislandy gave him most trouble because you used the ring on him as a southpaw.
How special is Terence Crawford as a fighter? First person to be three-way undisputed.
Terence is very special. He definitely goes in the top 10, maybe even the top 5 of the best pound for pound ever.
Do you think, is there anything more for him now, would you say?
Nothing else left for him. That was it. He can call it a day now if he wants to.
Who do you feel stands taller in their prime, Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford?